Today, we're looking at some of the best credit card intro bonuses that are available right now. Whether you're into cashback, normal travel, or premium travel, there's a ton of great opportunities. Big favor, give us a thumbs up to help with the algorithm. If you know someone that might benefit, share this with them. Starting off with Chase, we have the Prime Visa card. If you like Amazon or you're doing any holiday shopping, this is worth considering. The standard offer is a $150 gift card offer upon approval, exclusively for Prime members. Right now, it's 66% higher. The limited time offer is a $250 gift card with the same requirements. You do need to have a Prime membership to be eligible to get the card, but Prime also has a 30-day free trial. If you happen to lose Prime while holding the card, it gets downgraded to the non-Prime version, which still isn't bad. So in theory, you can get Amazon Prime and the higher offer. For people that like Amazon, this is a fan favorite card due to the 5% back in Amazon, Amazon Fresh, and Whole Foods Market. Outside of the Prime membership requirement, there's no annual fee that's directly associated with the card and no foreign transaction fees. Also a reminder that Amazon does discount Prime for some people. For example, if you're between 18 and 24, then you're at 50% of the standard rate. Otherwise, this is a great low-hanging fruit offer and a great long-term useful card with minimal downside risk. Next up is the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. At the moment, this feels like a good sweet spot of a great intro bonus, comparably low annual fee, and good enough perks. Right now, you're looking at 75,000 bonus points after 5,000 spent on purchases in the first 3 months from account opening. There is a $95 annual fee, but year 1 makes sense if you can hit the intro bonus. Year 2, you'd want to run the numbers. Okay, so what's the intro bonus worth? 75k bonus points, redeemed for cash back, would be 1 cent per point, which would be $7.50 in value. For most people, paying $95 to get $7.50 back for spend that you're already doing is solid, especially given the return on spend. Yes, you might have other cards, but the default numbers aren't as high. At the bottom end, at 1 cent per point is cash back, 75k is $7.50, divided by 5k in spend is 15% return on spend. 15% beats 2% every day. If you care about travel, then you can get even more value, for example, trying first or business class. Heading into ski season, ski in ski out hotels, one arm and a leg, and this is a way to get $1 in value for a quarter in points. It depends on you here, but I've generally gone 2 cents per point. In that case, 75k times 2 cents per point is $1,500 in value, which would be about 30% return on spend. Again, in year 2, you'd want to run the numbers. If the math doesn't work, you have downgrade paths into the Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Freedom Flex, both of which are useful cards. Last up here is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. If you have lower spend, then this is perfect. Here you're getting 300 cash back after 500 in spend within the first 3 months of account opening. The floor value is that cash back, but you can get even more value if you travel, especially by transferring to partners with options like the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. The main reason here being that each $1 in cash back is mostly marketing, and you're actually getting 100 Chase points. Outside of the intro bonus, this is a great catch-all card. Even if you decide to pivot to other systems, this is no annual fee, so minimal downside risk. Worst case, it's part of your base for your credit history. Just stick it on a subscription and have it on auto pay. On a side note, if you want to learn more about cards, whether these ones or the ones coming up, and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. Switching issuers, we have the Citi Strata Elite card. The limited time offer here is 100,000 bonus points after 6k in spend in the first 3 months. $5.95 annual fee, but you get a ton of credits. This includes up to 300 for hotel stays of 2 nights or more through cititravel.com, up to 200 annual splurge credit for 2 brands, including easy ones like American Airlines, Best Buy, and Live Nation, and also up to 200 for Black Lane, which is a chauffeur service. I don't really value the last one, but the first 2 are pretty easy and solid. The timing right now is also super ideal. The main reason being that all 3 of these are calendar year credits. That means for that first year, for that first annual fee, you're getting a ton of value. The window is pretty tight, but you should be able to get a 2025 credit, the full 2026 credit, and you have time to use 2027 before you either downgrade, cancel, or product change. I might talk about this again in a future video, but pretty good way to test drive a card if you are on the fence. Mapping it out for the up to 300 annual hotel benefit, 2025 to 2027 would be up to 900. The up to 200 annual splurge credit, 2025 to 2027 would be up to 600. The total here being up to 1,500 in viable credits, so 2.52x of the annual fee. Even if you discount this by let's say 10, 20, or 30%, you're still in a really good spot. But yeah, for most people out there, this should be an easy, positive, expected value move. Factor in that Citi's pretty chill with downgrades, and you have a pretty good 1 year. Whether into cashback, but especially travel, the highest leverage opportunity for us is intro bonuses. In here, you're getting that and an extra year of credits on top. Outside of the first year stuff, it's also not a bad card in its own right, and for a lot of people, it might be the best flagship card out there if you want to catch all for dining and also travel. There is a lot of nuance there depending on how you book travel, but worth looking into. For the intro bonus, let's look at the return on spend. So 100,000 bonus points, and for cashback, you're only getting 0.75 cents per point now, so 750 in value for 6K in spend is 12.5% return on spend. For travel though, at 1 cent per point, that's 1,000 value, so 16.7% return on spend. If you're transferring out the partners on the top end, 2 cents per point target would be 2K in value, so 33.3% return on spend. Not bad even if you are going towards cashback, but I'd probably go towards travel. A bit different, but one also worth looking into is a Citi AAdvantage Globe Mastercard. This is a new card and has a great limited time offer. Here you're getting 90,000 AAdvantage bonus miles after 5K in purchases in the first 4 months. American miles tend to be pretty powerful, especially if you're into international business or first class. Even if you don't fly them, you can fly one world partners like Japan Airlines, and that works well. Okay, so randomly doing a search for American miles for North America to Asia, we have a ton of availability from LAX to Japan for ski season in January. You're looking at 60K for business class. For example, here's 2 seats to Narita on January 21st in about 6 weeks, 60K and about $6 in fees, which isn't bad. If both you and player 2 pick this up, then you're covering about 3 of these flights. There is a $350 annual fee, which is a bit rough. For this, you are getting benefits. For example, each calendar year, you're getting 4 Admiral Club Globe passes. I'm probably going to piss people off, but I think Admiral Club lounges are a bit mid compared to the other options. Also note that this is not flagship, which is a lot different and a different level. You also get up to 240 back on Turo, but it's kind of weird, so it's up to 30 in statement credits for each Turo trip completed. So it makes sense if you use Turo 8 times a year, but I've used it 0 times. Outside of the AC passes, there are 2 credits that feel a bit more tangible. First one being up to 100 back for in-flight purchases with American Airlines. For example, for snacks. I'd probably value this at 25 cents on the dollar. The one that actually feels useful is up to 100 as an annual splurge credit for up to 2 different brands, which include American Airlines hotel bookings and also Live Nation. So less choices here, but at least useful, and December ends up being a good time given how credits work. And to be fair, there are reasons to have the card if you are chasing status with them, or if you're farming these companion certificates, but that only applies with the second card member year and onwards. I probably don't fly American enough to justify it, but depends on you, so it might make sense there. If I were to go for it, it'd be a 1-year tester. A bit of a weird one, but one I'm considering, is the Qatar Airways Privilege Club Signature Credit Card. Mostly as a tester, since it's hard to turn down an intro bonus. You're going to get 20,000 bonus AVOs after your first transaction, and 45K bonus AVOs after spending $3,500 in the first 90 days. $99 annual fee, so not bad at all, and even if you don't want to fly to metal, there are a lot of other one world partners that work here. Let's do a random search from North America to Europe. There's a lot of options here from JFK as well as Charlotte to places like Madrid, London, or Paris. All of these being around 62K. For example, JFK to Paris, booking through Qatar, but through American Airlines metal, so flying American. 6 seats available in business for 62K. If you factor in the AVOs you earn with a minimum spend, you're pretty close to 70K. Another good option would be Boston to Doha, flying Qatar, and here be 70K. If you are going this route, if you are trying to fly through metal, then I'd make sure that it's Q suites if possible, since that's a better product. Yeah, great solo, but especially as a couple, and a great option if you are trying to get out of the cold for the winter. There also is an older brother card, but it doesn't really make sense to me. You can earn a bit more points, so up to 100K total, but there's also a $4.99 annual fee. 25K after your first transaction, and 75K for 6K in spend in the first 90 days. This one's tough unless you value the status, which you get in the first year as kind of a trial status. You get gold tier, which is One World Sapphire, which is nice, but you need to be flying enough to justify it. Even if you only are flying domestically, it might be useful as a tester since you can access American as well as Alaska lounges and other One World lounges for short haul if your status is not from the US. Main takeaway being that you can access American lounges when flying American, even for short haul. It feels a bit too much like an edge case though, and I go for the little brother just for the intro bonus. Next up, we have the Capital One Venture X Rewards credit card. Limited time offer is 100,000 miles after 10,000 spent on purchases in the first 6 months. Super high spend, but you also have 6 months, which helps a ton. Doing the math, $10,000 divided by 6 months is about $1,700 spend per month. It might mean that you need to allocate some of your other spend to that card for the intro bonus, but the math generally works out. The main idea being that return on spend tends to be way higher than the base multipliers. On the bottom end for cash back, you're only getting 0.5 cents per mile, so 100K would be 500 in value. 500 divided by 10,000 is only 5% return on spend, which is fine, but a bit on the weekend, and I'd be hesitant. If you are doing travel, then it kind of depends on how you do it. So for the baseline, it's 1 cent per mile, so 1,000 in value, and transferring to partners, target would be about 2 cents per mile, so 2,000 in value. If you want that upgraded travel experience, either for yourself or to keep player 2 happy, then this is a great option. Yeah, way cheaper than what I'd have to pay otherwise, and what player 2 probably would want me to pay. It depends on your player 2, but Mandy's expensive. At 1 cent per mile, that's 10% return on spend, and at 2 cents per mile as a target, that's 20% return on spend. There is a $395 annual fee, but this card is pretty easy to break even with. Part of it being the $300 annual travel credit for bookings through Capital One Travel. The other half, if you are keeping it long term, is a 10,000 miles anniversary bonus equal to at least 100 towards travel, and you get this every year starting with your first anniversary. Yeah, if you don't have the card yet, then this is a great opportunity. Last up is the Capital One Venture X Business. It's a pretty similar card for the benefits, but very different intro bonus. This is very much targeted towards business owners with very high spend, for example for either ads or inventory. Limited time offer here is up to 400,000 miles, and there's 2 tranches. First one's up to 200K miles after 30K in spend in the first 3 months, so about 10K in spend here, which is not a small amount. The second tranche is an additional 200K miles after 150K spent on purchases in the first 6 months. So about 30K on purchases per month for those 6 months. Probably a skip for most people, but thought I'd mention it. Again, if you want to learn more about cards and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. And if you're curious, all legal affiliate disclosures can also be found below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a Christmas tree emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. 3 questions. Number 1, what intro bonuses are you working on? Number 2, what cards are you considering adding? And number 3, what cadence are you generally on for these cards? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, thumbs up, share this, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.